How you doing, folks? Welcome back to Demo 690. Back in the shed again today. Unfortunately raining outside, so I can't work outside. It's been raining in here like last couple of days, actually all summer. You just really can't get good weather to do anything. So I'm back at the CD175 today. My seals still didn't turn up, but I got a little bit fed up waiting, and I had a rummage through my shed here and I found a couple of seals which, lo and behold, happened to be just the right size. So I have fitted them. I didn't think that it was worth videoing that, so I fitted them. If they don't work, I'll just replace them with the new ones when they come. Right, what's the job for today? Right, the first job for the day is we're going to start building back up the engine. You seen yesterday that I had closed the casings. No, maybe I didn't even video that, I don't know. If I didn't, apologies, but the engine is now, the bottom end is now back up in one piece, and now I'm just going to fit all the bits and pieces like the clutch, oil, pump, things like that. So just give me a moment and I'll be with you. Okay, so this is where we stand with the engine now. The engine is now back in one piece. You can see a little bit of the gasket seal here. I'll clean that up today. I was just waiting for it to dry. I didn't want to do much damage. So onwards and upwards with this build starting today. I have the clutch sitting waiting here, the new basket that I bought, and everything ready to go in. I have our oil pump. I have there's a little pin that goes in the middle for the clutch actuation, and I have our spring for the kickstart. I haven't fixed that yet, but I will. What else have I got? 1 second and I'll show you. As I have the filter that I bought the new housing for. Yeah, so that's the brand new filter that I bought for it. Once the cap, it's just the cap is new, not the rest of it. I bought that cap for it, and so that's going to be good. And without further ado, let's just get to work. So I'm going to start with the kickstart spring, and we'll see how we get on with that. Okay, we're back. So we're going to start with putting this new clutch basket on here. So you have to put your oil pump onto this basket before you put it on the bike, otherwise you won't get it on. So that's kind of the way it works. There's a little arm on the back of that. I'll try and put this on without losing our pump. Give me a moment. It's very hard to do this with one hand. Okay, so you'll see I have a set of gaskets here ready to go on, and for the oil pump you'll see that there's a little gasket that goes just here. So that's what I'm going to put on now, just after I give that a rub. I didn't clean it too well. And again, I've barely even started the job this evening and I'm in trouble already, because as you'll see, this gasket's not even near right, not even close. So I'm going to have to now go and try and cut one. I do have a gasket for an SH50 here, and I'm going to try and cut one out of that myself. It's the only thing I can do. Hopefully the rest of them are not going to be the same. Okay, so you'll see I have the clutch basket on now. The pump is in. I had to cut my own gasket, as you can see in behind there, but it's might not be the tidiest job, but it'll work. I had to be very careful here, make sure the hole was got right there, because the oil goes right up through that. So next we will be putting on this basket with the circlip and then the little plunger. Okay, so as you'll see, I have my little circlip on there, and this little plunger with the rounded piece goes into the center of that. Probably a good idea to put a little bit of oil in there before you do that, so that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so once you've got all that done, you put the clutch plates back in. One with the grips, then one plain steel plate, then one with the grips, so on. And then you put your cap on, and you put your 4 clutch springs in here. Then the next thing to do will be to get this bracket and its 4 bolts and bolt it down good and tight. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll be with you now in a little second. Okay, so this is the centrifugal oil filter, and it just fits over the top. I cleaned it as much as I could. You can see in the bottom there is not a big amount of crap. It's just pretty stained, badly stained. But you just sit that on the top there, and you get your little lock washer. I don't know if you can see it in behind that. See the little spikes sticking out? That's a little lock washer. And you tighten down your castellated nut, and then you get one of those little tabs and you pull it up in between to lock that washer or lock that nut into place. Then when you've done that, you just stick your cap on. There's little slots in the inside. It just slips down them, and you have a little screw there. You tighten the screw down and it tightens down the lid. So that's that. I think that's us ready to put the gasket on now and put that casing, side casing on. So just to show you about the kickstart spring, in case people are wondering how you tighten it up, how it goes. I'll just take this off. You can see the way that wing is facing there. So you just get this, put it down, and there's a little hook. See the little hook there? And it wedges in behind this here wee thing. So you just wedge that in behind the wee thing. And once it's wedged around it, you just take this, bend it out and over, and put it in there like that, and that is that. Okay, so I've decided against putting on the casings just yet, because number one, I'm not finished painting them. There's the one of them down on the ground there with the primer on it. Number two, there may be some new bolts required for it that I'll have to source. So I think I'm just going to go on ahead and build the engine itself here. And I think that's the best way to go. So we're going to go ahead and try and build the rest of this engine here. Okay, so I've found the right gasket and I have put the gasket on. And the next piece to go on will be the barrel. So just give me a second while I do that. Unfortunately I can't film myself doing all this because well, I haven't really got many places to put my phone. I will try if you want. I will try. Okay guys, unfortunately that's the best I can do for you. I will lift the phone and show you what's going on as I'm doing this though. Right, the barrels. There's a screw on the back of one of these barrels. Little bits of stuff stuck in the fins already. Okay, there's a screw stuck on the back of these barrels and it goes towards the back. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to give these barrels a quick wipe inside, because I did oil them pretty good to make sure that they didn't tarnish. So yeah, that's a bit of a wipe. Do it from the other side too. Yeah, that looks good. Right, let's set this on top. Now, as you're doing this, it's wise to pull up your chain for your cam, and just have it sitting down and my gasket's lifted here first. Unfortunately, it's an awkward job this. I'll just stick my screwdriver through there to make sure the chain doesn't go down again. Yeah, that'll allow me to mess with this a bit. Yeah. Okay. Now getting these in is not simple. You have to squeeze the rings in on both of them, and it's just not that simply done. If I can even get one started, it'd be a help though. Now I'll lift this barrel again, try and squeeze in the rings on this, get it started into the bore. Not very easy, trust me. Don't worry about your gasket for now, just don't rip it. Okay, I think that's trying to get in there, and this one, okay, one started, I think. Try and get this one in. Yeah, one of them has started there. This one is not playing ball. And you have to be careful because you can break your rings or damage them doing this. So no, I'll have to take it off again that way. That's awkward. Oh dear. Not simple. Put that side in. Now we're against this side, and this side's not going to go in. Yeah, I think it's away. That's one side, and fairly sure this other side's down as well, but it just doesn't want to move too easily. Not gonna happen. Well, that turned out not to just be so simple, but I got there. So that's the barrel now on, and don't forget your little bolt that goes on the back of it here. And just a word of advice to save yourself a lot of head scratching: if you have a CD175 and you're going to do it up and you're putting the barrel back on, make sure that your guide wheel or your tensioner wheel is flipped up this way before you put the barrel on, or otherwise you're going to be wondering why it's not going down. And that's the reason why, is because that wheel was getting in the way. It should be flipped up. Okay, so going on to the next piece, and that's probably going to be the head gasket on the head. Now I've got my head gasket on, and just another little thing to mention is not to forget that there's two little oil seals that go on the back here, and in that corner there. So there's just two little O-rings. You put them down, and don't forget them. Okay, so that's the head on, and next we're going to fit the camshaft. As you can see there, I've got most of the head together there, and I'm just going to pull my screwdriver out and try and get my camshaft in now, but I have to make sure and get it round the right way once it's top dead center. Yeah, so I got my cam in, but not timed. I haven't got any of the rocker arms in yet, as you can see. I ran into a spot of trouble. Whenever I was undoing the bolts of this bike to take it all apart, I came across a few that I didn't really want to start hammering at, and I couldn't get them open. And that was this plate. But unfortunately I needed that plate to time the bike, because the timing mark is in under this cover. So I had to go and drill them out, and I didn't want to destroy my good paintwork, but I think I managed to get away with it. I have to now order 2 new screws though. So I'll have to order 2 new screws and a new gasket, or maybe I have a gasket for it here. I don't know yet. Right, so then when we get that much done, let me see if I can get some light for you. Maybe, doesn't always happen here. Yeah, okay. You'll see that there's a little tab in under this cover, and on that tab is a little line, and that little line should be matched up with your T for timing. The F would be for firing, for your ignition timing, but this T is for your timing of the engine itself. So I'm gonna have to go and do a bit of research now. I'm a little bit confused about, because this has a line and not a circle on it. I need to just look up and make sure that I'm getting this right, because if you get the timing wrong, you'll bend valves and all sorts of things. So that's what I'm going to do now, and then I think I'll put the rocker arms in so that I can determine where the cam has to be. Okay, so that turned out to be a bit of a nightmare for me, and I just had to put it all together, but I can tell you how it goes anyway. The problem was that at some stage in this bike's life, somebody has changed the cam sprocket. Now, the original cam sprockets have a little circle on them to tell you where the timing is, and this one, as you can see, if I can get a bit of light here, does not have a 0 at the top. No 0 on this anywhere. The only thing it does have, now I've seen this on other bikes as well, I can't even hardly get my finger in to show you. If you look straight down there, you'll see a straight line. Now, I've seen that on twin engines before, but the straight line should match up with the edges. Hold on, till I get a bit of a, yeah, it should match up with the edge of this. The straight line should be following this, and I have got this as close as I think it should be. I've got the cam in the position where the pieces are loose. So when they're loose, that would tell you that it's top dead center, as well as the bottom is top dead center when it's on the T mark. So I think that I've got this right. I hope that I've got this right. I won't know until I try turning it over. Not with a kickstart or anything, just by hand here, turn it over and see if I get any knocks, or maybe stop altogether. But I'll tell you that now in a few minutes. Well, that concludes our video for this evening. I believe I've got about 90% of this engine built today. I'm very happy with my progress. I didn't really need to show you the rest. I'd already showed you about the timing not being the right cog. I have the engine to torque down yet, the head. I put on my ignition pieces, which is a very simple thing to do, just plug and play. You saw the mark that I made on the timing, spark timing plate, so I just put that exactly back where it was. And what else? I have 3 new screws to order for this plate, so I'll get them. I've run out of the paint that I painted this engine with, so I need to get more to finish these 2 casings here. This one and the one that's hidden away in here. And that's basically engine finished, if it runs. One worry I do have is that the cam chain seemed to be quite tight. Now I checked the tensioner and everything, and I took the tensioner off it even a little bit and didn't loosen it up any, so it is quite tight. It does turn with it, not a problem, but it just seems to me to be quite tight. It is a new cam chain though, so maybe it'll wear in a bit. Oh, that's what I hope. We're not going to have any problems. And bar that, that's basically the engine finished. The next thing you'll probably see me do is either set the valve clearances, or you'll just see it on the bike and I'll be ready to try and make it run. So that concludes our video for this evening, guys. Thanks for watching.